What's going on? It's your girl Fathom DJ, live and direct from the city of ATL. I am here in my studio in West Midtown, and I wanted to have a few conversations. I need to add some content, some thoughts, some ideas. Maybe you will appreciate them, give you something to think about. If you want to argue in the comment section, that's perfectly fine as well. So ideally, I think the first thing that comes to mind that I need to talk about is specifically DJs and ATL and my position at Parler and what I am doing. So the other day I had an interesting experience with someone who I find incredibly talented. And because of confidentiality as well as respect, they will remain nameless. I must tell you that talent is not enough. It's not. I am, and I also know tons of very talented DJs. Less than 6 years after deciding to really focus on being a DJ, I knew that I would have to market and brand myself consistently. And you can, to some degree, if you go back as far as MySpace, you most certainly will find a MySpace page for Fathom DJ, as well as a few other things that were intentionally placed back then. I have not stopped. I could use some help, but as it stands, the goal is to continue to brand and market myself to get opportunities that I want, more so than, just playing here or there or doing random things. So what strikes me about the concept of talented DJs who don't promote themselves, talent is not going to strike people at this point. Unfortunately, social media has created such a competitive grounds that people look at your social media before they listen to your mixes. Now, of course, you should have mixes. That mix and those mixes should be considered content, and that content should be circulated through your social media channels. This should happen for several reasons. It happened for me because I knew that I wanted to leave a legacy of music, because music is timeless and it doesn't expire. So I wanted to make sure to create trails so that people could find the types of sounds that I play wherever they are, which is the reason why Spotify exists for me with playlists, which is the reason why I have original tunes on Spotify, which is the reason why I have a YouTube channel, which is the reason why I stream on Spreaker, which is the reason why I stream on Twitch, which is the reason why I occasionally stream on YouTube, I stream on Facebook, and all of the things that I do. I want opportunities that are incredible. I've had opportunities that are incredible. I would not be here in the city of Atlanta if I had not garnered the interest of a venue owner to be a part of that team. Consistency is what got me the opportunities that I have, as well as, I think consistency more than anything. I think professionalism is definitely important, but more so being consistent about doing what you do and consistent about showing people that you do it. And there is no other way to garner interest of people without marketing and promoting yourself. And as I said before, I won't go into the details of the conversation that I had that created the space for me to want to do this video. But for us to be able to even expect anything close to our rates, you have an obligation to promote and market yourself, because folk will go to your Facebook page and look to see if you're marketing the venues that you work in. They will look to see if you have mixes online. They will look to see if you are consistent about updating your presence. I don't think that it matters how many likes you get more so, but how frequently you're addressing that social media. And on that note, just this morning, I had an opportunity with Work Crew for a organization called Joy to the Polls in a car with DJ Hourglass, and just watching her work her magic, and the organizing of this slew of pop-up performances at voting polls in Georgia. And as far as I could tell, she, as well as her Jedis from work crew, are manning and organizing and executing that machine. I do understand that those opportunities and things happen based on them being consistent, both in venues as well as marketing and promoting each other and themselves. So kudos to them, first off. And secondly, that's the testimony that you cannot get opportunities unless you're forthright and specific about your actions. Now, there are people who will pop up and they'll throw a photo on their page and get like 400 likes, but you never see that consistency. In my opinion, based on my current position, if I don't see that marketing, if I don't see you circulating the content, if I don't see you interested in promoting the endeavors, there's a likelihood that I might not be able to book you. And I want to. If you're super talented, if your music is dope, if your music is dope, I definitely want to book you. But if we cannot garner interest in the venues that I'll be associated with, that I am associated with, then it's going to be hard to go to bat consistently. The music could be dope, but if we can't count on you to get the numbers in the space, to get the word out, to help generate those numbers in the space, then it could be a loss of investment in booking you. And I don't want that. Like, I want everybody to win. I want everybody to garner really great opportunities. And how you garner great opportunities is based on the idea of being consistent. I wouldn't be in the city of Atlanta on my own terms if I had not had the opportunity that I had a little over 6 years ago, when I met a man who is the executive producer for a production company, and they do events. And I just happened to be in Atlanta spinning at Sound Table, and this man comes in and he sees me DJ and contacts me through the internet. He goes and checks my credentials on the internet. He came to my YouTube page. He hit me on IG. He most certainly hit me on Twitter, because Twitter was more popular, or at least we were circulating on Twitter more than anything. He checked my credentials, and then he booked me to play in Vegas as well as Hawaii. To wrap this part of it up, I just want to make sure that, and I don't have to say this to people who are actively on Instagram, actively promoting their Twitch shows. As much as there's a pandemic, there still are opportunities and spaces and places on the internet where you can create a presence that you can use for content. I'm not talking to y'all. Because we are all in the same boat, and letting people know that we're getting opportunities even when we're not being booked outside. I'm here at this station at least 3 times a week, broadcasting and taking that content from my broadcast and swirling it around the internet and posting it on Facebook and posting it on my fan page and updating my website and things of that nature, just to stay on top, to get opportunities, so that when I get an opportunity, I can potentially negotiate. But if I wasn't doing any of those things at all, how could I possibly have the expectation of being booked? How could I possibly have the expectation of negotiating my rate and collaborating with people? You got to have equity. You got to have brand equity. And brand equity comes from promoting and marketing yourself and creating content and spreading that content and networking. You can be as talented as you want to be. You can be the dopest of all. But if you don't stand on your brand, if you don't stand forthright in the idea of promoting and marketing yourself, why would anybody want to work with you? That's that. Fathom DJ live and direct. You can find me in your worldwide webosphere at findingfathomdj.com. You can also find me at the IG account of Abston Consulting, and there's a website for that. It's abstonconsultingllc.com as well. Just trying to motivate, inspire, encourage, address some people who have been a little lackadaisical about the idea of what it really takes to get booked. Reminding myself that we are in a pandemic, but the venue that I'm associated with is pushing forward in our process, and I want to be specific about making sure that there's an understanding of expectations as it pertains to what we're offering DJs to work with us. Not just for us, but with us, because as I see it, we're collaborators. All of us are collaborating. I collaborate with Parler. Parler collaborates with me. We collaborate with DJs, mixologists, brands, entrepreneurs, independent contractors, whatever you want to call them. We are collaborating, and it is an effort on everyone's part to generate interest for the venue, for ourselves, and for others. So there's no one side to this. Everybody is practicing group economics to a degree. So having said that, cosmic kisses to your day, and I'll see you soon. Space.